Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My fellow brothers of Masjid ibn Abbas and anyone else watching this video, I appreciate for joining me on the YouTube and the Facebook and TikTok and the other public platform. I have a public announcement today. My name is Ibrahima Drame. I am a professional, certified tax prepared, and my company is Drame Tax and Associate LLC. And on this, first page on the right side, here's my contact information. My cell phone number is a 347-575-5114. My email is a drame1045 at yahoo.com. And if anyone want to contact me, if you contact me through those contact information, it will get in touch with me for sure. And here we are, tax season of the 2022, and I am going to share some of the most important information regarding federal income tax. And let's proceed. I am here today to communicate and share important information and tool as to how we can make 2022 taxes filing season more efficient and effective. That's the word, more efficient and effective. It would be helpful for you to listen to all the informations to get the most benefit out of it. So let's discussion begin. The discussion will be based upon the following topic. So we're going to discuss, the following topic on the next, couple of, minutes. First, the IRS opening and the deadline for filing. I'm going to relay that information. Second, my work schedule and contact information. Third, advantage, filing your taxes with me. And then I'm going to share that information with you. And then also, four most important items needed to file your taxes, and also the new and the old rules about the child tax credits and qualifying a relative. So I'm going to discuss and relay the very important information, child tax credit and qualifying a relative, the differences between two. Number 5, I'm going to relate to you the differences between credits and the deduction. I apologize, deductions, there's a little misspell here, and which one is better, and then I'm going to relate when I discuss the differences between the credit and the deductions. Number 6, the benefit of the virtual taxes portals and how to use it. Nowadays after pandemic, a lot of professional tax preparer across the nations, in fact even major firm, they decided even staying home filing people taxes, and that is more efficient and more effective, both the tax preparer and then also for the client. I'm going to relate that important information to you as well. Okay, here we are. Number 1, the IRS opening and the deadline for filing. So, accepting date. IRS, for 2022, they will open Tuesday, January 24th, 2022. So, today is a January 8th, 2023. So, they going to be open January 24th, 2022. Silver week, from today. When they say, for opening into, that's the date, IRS is started accepting, the income tax, return. Return. That's when they're going to stop, accepting it. And the deadline for filing is a Tuesday, April 18, 2022. The reason is April 18 because normally it's April 15, but if the April 15 fall on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, that doesn't count. So they push, that day 2 days further down, and then since Friday is a holiday, they give extra day. They push into Tuesday on April 18. But here's the most important: the IRS works based upon the first come and the first served basis. So the earlier you file your taxes, the better, because you will get your refund early. It usually takes up to 21 days for most people, if there are no problem. My contact informations, is here. So if anyone contact me, for consultations, for questioning, if you have your W-2 in your hand, and here's my contact information. My cell phone number, direct number, is a 347-575-5114. And my email is drame1045 at yahoo.com. My secondary email is drame1040 at yahoo.com. And then the differences between two is the first one is 1045, the second one is 1040. And let's go to the next slide. Now, advantage of filing your taxes with me. Here is a seventh advantage for you filing your taxes with me. Number one, the knowledge of the tax law. I found out, some people, a lot of people who's doing tax filing, some of them they just trained by, the knowledgeable person, and in order for that person to learn how to file taxes, they just learn how to punch the number in the computer, come out with the results, and tell you. And that is the difference for one to go to school and then to learn about the tax code and the tax law. And then I spent a literally great deal amount of time in school to learn the taxes. I got all my certificate, and then even after that, I do all my due diligence, and then also do more researches to learn, a lot about taxes and the tax law. Because in order to do a good job for your client, you have to understand, the differences between the different laws. If you do this, this is what the result is. If you do that, that's what the result is. So if you know that, that's going to help you definitely to, provide, the excellent job for the client. And then I have a tremendous amount of knowledge on the tax law, and, from my studying from school. Number two, receive the maximum refund you deserve without getting trouble, with IRS. So if you know the tax law and tax code, I'm sure, the one can do the good job for, its client to make sure you get the, maximum refund you deserve. But also not to do the, recklessly to make your client, get trouble with the IRS. Number three, payment options. I have a bank products. Bank products mean if you want me to, take your, tax filing fee out of your refunds, that is option I have. Or if you want to pay it, by credit card, by debit card, by cash, I have that available as well. So that is the number three. I have all options, for you. Number four, tax planning for future year. So if you file your taxes with me for the next year, you can talk to me about you want to change it. Let's say you want to get married, you have additional children, or you want to open a business. Any other thing you want to do for the tax planning, I can work with you to make sure, like you don't pay more than what you should have paid appropriate amount of taxes, or save you most taxes as possible legally according to the law. And number five, peace of mind. That is security, because I'm gonna take care of your tax return just like a mine. And definitely I take your tax return personally. Number six, free advice and the consultation if it's needed. So if I need advice regarding your tax return, regarding any other thing, I will provide that to you. Number seven, free year-round services of the tax record. So let's say you file your taxes with me, I have your tax record. A couple of months later, when your tax record for immigration, any other thing, and they just call me, and I will provide that to you for free. Okay, having said that, in this slide, we're going to talk about, that's number four most important items needed to file your taxes more accurately and effectively. So, the first, all incomes you made, no matter how small or big, you must be reported. So, one of the red flags, IRS, look for is your income. Because what happens is, what people don't understand, what people don't realize, if you work for an employer, when like we in January, by end of the January, the employers going to send the W2, there's two W2. They're going to send one to you or give it to you. They're also going to send one to IRS. So the one you receive, the one you're going to receive, IRS also going to receive one. So those two has to be matched. No matter how little or how big it is, IRS have it. If it's 1099, same thing. You're gonna have a copy, and there will be a copy for IRS. So as long as it's more than $400, yeah, you have to report it. If you don't report it, IRS see that could trigger automatic audit unnecessarily. So, your all your W-2, you worked, all your 1099, which is self-employment income, tips income, interest income, dividends income, pension income. That is depends, the to file taxes. If if fall a certain threshold, you will file taxes. If it doesn't, you don't have to. Same thing for Social Security. That also depends. And that is first thing we must do. You have to report all of your income. Number two, dependents or exemptions. So this is another crucial thing, that we can make sure we maximize all of your credit you deserve. If you have a dependent children, you are claiming, I need this on security cards. That's first one. Child tax credit, this year is revert back to $2,000 per child for 2022. Remember last year, if the child is under 6 years old, is a $3,600, and then 6 to 18, that's a $3,000. That law is expired now. The child tax credit revert back to the $2,000. All right, the next one, the child must be under 18 years old in order to claim as a dependent. And the next one, the child must be under 24 years old if full-time student. So if the child is a full-time student, then the age limit for that is up to 24. So just bear that in mind. If you have a child, let's say is in college, and is under 24, you still can claim as a full dependent. The next one, if the child is disabled, there is no age limit. If the child is disabled, there is no age limit. Okay, you can claim as many children as you want, but too many are red flag. Must have evidence in case IRS asks for the records or for evidence. You can claim other dependent relative. No age limit, but the credit is only $500. So there is a child tax credit. There is a qualifying relative credit. So child tax credit, that's $2,000 per child, and the qualifying relative credit, that's only $500. So that's not that much. So I'm going to talk about the differences between two in the next couple of minutes. Now, this slide right here, I am going to explain to you the comprehensive detail information regarding the tests to be qualifying child for taxpayer by IRS rules. So there are five tests for the child to be qualifying child for the taxpayer to claim. Number one is the first one is a relationship. So the relationship is a son that could be qualifying as a dependent. So I'm going to read the list: son, daughter, stepson, stepdaughter, brother, sister, stepbrother or stepsister, half brother or half sister, or descendant of the such individual, like grandchildren. So remember, descendant mean still that was in the range of the family. Number two is a resident test. So that also have to meet. So the child must live with you the half a year. So that's the IRS rule. In order to claim the child have to live with you half a year. The child has to be citizen or permanent resident. Number three, the age test. The child must be under 19 or under age 24 if the full-time student, like I discussed the last slot. So the child has to be under 19, meaning 18 years old, and down, or under 24 if the full-time student. Number four, that's a support test. The taxpayer must support the child half of the year, meaning half the year the taxpayer must pay the child household expenses. So that's the number four, the test that you have to pass. And then number five is called a joint return test. So let me explain this one to you. In order, because if you claim, dependent, that dependent cannot claim by anybody else, taxes. That's number one. Also, the dependent cannot file taxes, but IRS allowed that dependent to file taxes if that dependent worked to have a, some income, and then he's only filing taxes to get his refund. Let's say that dependent, did some part-time job, and then he or she married, they want to join return to get their refund. They allowed to do that only to get the refund. So IRS allow for the the dependent to do that. So that's what they call the joint return test. So that also has to be followed to restrict. So those are the five tests that you must pass in order to claim the child as a qualifying child. And then now the test to be qualifying relative by IRS are the following. So the relationship test, of course, I mean the household member. So if they're related, okay. So test to be qualifying relative by IRS. Now we're going to discuss that. The first is a relationship. Second is a gross income test. Third is joint return. Third is a residency test. And the fifth is a support test. Now, the test to be qualifying a relative by IRS. So the first one is a relationship. The second one is a gross income test, and the third is a joint return test. I don't know if you noticed that this also applied to the qualifying child, and the number four is a residency test, and the number five is a support test. So number one, relationship test. So it's just like a number one and the qualifying child, and then it has to some relations between. But one of the good thing about it, the qualifying relative, it doesn't have to be blood related. If you have a friend who's staying with you at home, you could claim that person as a qualifying relative. And the number two is important, unlike the number one. Number two, the gross income test. So what I mean is, the qualifying relative income cannot exceed it more than 4,400. So it has to be less. If it's exceeded, above that, you cannot claim that person as a, qualifying relative. So keep that in mind. Number three, joint return test. So this one is same rules, just like that apply to the qualifying child test above. And then number four, the residency test, and that also apply to the qualifying child, and the qualifying relative must be U.S. citizen, permanent resident with a valid social security number. By the way, the qualifying child has to be citizen or permanent residence with a valid social security number. Without social security number, there's no way it can claim the individual. So number five is the support test, and that too is similar to the qualifying child. The taxpayer must provided more than 50% of the qualifying relative household expenses, meaning the taxpayer have to pay the half of the the person who's staying home in order to claim it as a qualifying relative. Very good. So now we're gonna continue our number three, the items we need to do a good job to make sure we file your taxes efficiently and accurately. So the number three is identifications. It could be driver license, non-driver license. If you don't have it, no problem, because some states, New York is not a one of them, but some state they require to you have a driver license information to put it in the software, and in order to get that get it processed. Okay, number four, that's the bank information. Of course, I mean, especially if you get a direct deposit, if you get, excuse me, the hefty refund, good refund, you need to have the, some kind of direct deposit in order for your money to put into that direct deposit. So need a direct deposit information. If you don't have a bank account, there's no problems. My program, the program that I'm participating, we have a the program called Go to Visa, and then is a the debit card. It will be mailed to your house. I'm gonna fill out for you and apply for you. You're gonna take only 5 to 7 business days to for you to receive it. Once you receive it, your refund will be deposited into that card. You could use that card like a bank account to withdraw the money. And by the way, that account has no like a insurance, doesn't have a fee, and you have a all liability, like when you lost a card or somebody stole your money. I mean, they go into the refund and they put everything back. So not to make you worry in case something happened in that nature. Okay, so those are the fourth thing we need. Like I said, to file your taxes more effective and more efficient. Now, let me know if you have the following. If you own a house, that is something I need to know. And then I'm going to ask you for 1098, and then we're going to itemize your tax return to see if you're getting the most deduction from that. Or because some people, even when you own the home, when you itemize it, your standard deduction is still more than your itemized deduction. We're still gonna take whichever is hired. And if you own a business, that's a special for that. And then people with the small business, I mean for individual with the small businesses, we have to talk in the first to get everything ready before we even file taxes for you to get all deduction and credit in place. And then also, if you have a 401k, if you have a traditional IRA, not Roth IRA, but traditional IRA, if you have a FSA, Health 7 account, if you have any other, payment you get through, some kind of, reimburse, payment process, let me know. I could use that as a deduction to, lower your taxable income. Excellent, excellent. So this one here is a very important. Number five, credit versus deductions. Now, this is the part I want you to pay even more attention, because a lot of people have a lot of misconception. They don't understand the difference between credit and the deductions. So I'm here to explain to you. Okay, let's talk about the definition. So what was the definition of credit and the deduction? So credit reduces your tax liability. Okay, credit reduces your tax liability, but deduction reduces your taxable income. That's a definition. For example, right here, let's talk about the first and credit. So Ibrahim annual gross income is a 19,400. For example, that's me, but his tax liability is 2,389. But receive child tax credit $2,000 plus earned income credit 2,900. What is his refund? So here's a scenario. All right. So $2,000 plus 2,900 equal, that's 4,900, right? Then you minus that 2,389. So my refund will be $2,511. See, even my tax liability is this amount right here, but when you minus all my credit, when you combine it and minus my tax liability, which is 2389, and then I will have the refund $2,511. So that is how the always how this is how the credit works. So now let's talk about deduction. Ibrahim annual gross income is 19,400, but his deduction is a 7. This case is my deduction. Remember, deductions is reduce your taxable income, your overall taxes, whatever number it took off, and then that will bring your income down. Then that income will be subject to the which we call it the tax bracket, whatever tax bracket will go, which is we're going to talk about that next time, and that is deduction is if you reduce your income to the deduction, whatever you deducted out, and then that taxable income will be applied to the tax bracket. So this case the deduction is 7,500. Okay, but I do not have any credit. I do not have any credit. So here's results and the scenario results. So we take that 19,400 income we make. and then we take the 7,500 out of the 19,400. Okay, so what left in my taxable income is 11,900. So 11,900, that's my taxable income. So look right here. So what, in order to know how much money you save here, what you're gonna do, you take the 7,500 minus, which is tax bracket. In this case, will be 12%, and that will be 900. So 7,500 times 0.2, and then the result will be yep, the result will be 900. 7,500 times 0.2, result is 900. So I save just 900. Remember, credit, I save literally $2,511, and then my deduction here, I save only 900. So that means credit is definitely better than deductions. Okay, exciting. The last one is a very important one also. I want you to pay attention to this one, and it's called online portals. So this online portal is a very, very effective and a very, very useful for several group of people, the long distance clients and the people who are busy, does not have a time to come to my office to file your taxes. And basically the software is highly secured. So we could use that, number one, to exchange a document. We could use that to send you a return when I completed. I could use that to send you instant messenger, and then you can reply me back. I could send you a questionnaire. If I have a question and then you fill those questions and send it back to me, it will automatically upload to the software. Basically, it's a time saver. They call it virtual taxes, because what happens is, after the pandemic hit, remember those days, no one doesn't want to come anybody location because people are afraid to be infected by COVID-19. So the software company start developing this tool to help the tax prepared, to prepare the client taxes, or the client attending to the prepare office. So it become adaptive, and even a lot of tax firm close their locations. They're working from home. They're serving the client very effectively, very efficiently. So I have a same program. I have a same portals. So to sign up this portal, I'm gonna go to the next slide. Easy to use. Just need phone with a working internet and email. Number one, everybody have a phone. Number two, everybody have their email. So once you have an email on the phone, no problem. It's a highly secured, it's approved by government. You don't have to worry about that. So the portal site is right here. DramePointSecureFilePro.com. I'm gonna repeat again. That's the blue link right there, hyperlink. You can see up there. DramePointSecureFilePro.com. So when you hit the this domain, email domain, or website domain, and then you will see the my logo and then my portal. So call me, and then it take a literally 1 minute to sign you up. And like I say, it's a time saver. We could do literally anything through there. And not everybody in the internet is bad, because remember, when you put the money in the bank, when you go to ATM, and you withdraw the money through the ATM, it has been been that way for over 50 years, and the bank are the most safest tool we have in terms of internet. Is secured. So even airplane, when you travel from New York to Africa, the satellite is internet that guided. 99.9% is secured. So not all internet stuff are bad. It's just a matter of whoever is on that particular industry to make sure is a highly secured. So I encourage you to take advantage of this. So this is an advantage you're going to get if you use the online portal. Exchange and share the document securely, and then I can send you a questionnaire and answer them securely. I could send you instant, messenger, and then you can reply back to me, and then I could sign your, you can sign your return securely without coming to my office. You can make a, payment through the portals, debit or credit card payment securely if you choose one. If one doesn't if one doesn't want to have account, you could do something called gas exchange. Basically, when I send you the link, you send me a document, you upload it to me, boom, that's it. You don't have no account. Is mobile web friendly, friendly, to use. And thank you for joining me today, and come get your return services. And inshallah, going forward, this is not going to be my last, although this is my first. I am going to, come here once every week and to share a lot of important information regarding, the income tax. What is the income tax? What is, the filing status? So many different, rules we need, and then give those information, remember, to you, for you to help you to understand. That's gonna make you better. And because when you have information is a very, 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 productive, to help you to, to be more successful in terms of filing our taxes. I once again thank you very much for joining me today. Until next time, I'll see you again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And deductions.